I don't know how much you know about it. I just don't want to say something that's too far advanced. So if I do, just say, okay, have questions. In everything, there is a scale. Dissociative disorders can be anything from feeling like I'm here but not here. Is this a dream? Is this real? To switching to a completely different personality. A lot of people think that DID is like forever, like it's permanent, and it isn't. And it's fun. Because if you look at it from an abstract view, not in the heat of the moment, like everything is different, when you're looking at it from here versus right here, it's all about perspective.
For our clarity, alters will always mean someone in my head that's not me. I have at least 67. I say at least because, like, I worked with a therapist and we wrote out the different ones that we could name. Me, I am Bree. I'm going to answer the first question first, the ones that are most prevalent. And I have probably a good 5 or 6. So I have Narawa. She's a 7-year-old. Just like cute little button 7-year-old, you know, like she just wants to cuddle with everybody and have a story told to her and do coloring books, but with magic markers because they're for big girls. And there's Angel. She's more serious. She tries to joke around a bit, but it comes off way more serious. She comes in and she tries to joke around and it offends everyone. And then she doesn't understand what happened because she was trying to joke around, but she's very serious. And then there's Samantha. That's Symenta. And she is the protector. I had a really hard time protecting myself from stuff. I didn't think I was worth it. But boy, if there was somebody innocent who needed it, I could sure get in somebody's face if I'm her, right? And then I have Riley, who's 14, and she's more studious. She's very practical. She's the one that, when I organize stuff, she comes behind me and goes, it looks better this way. And this is my struggle with her, because we both organize well. But she likes to go by colors, and I like to go by size. You're in the middle of doing something you know totally how to do. You just remember being in your car. And now all of a sudden you're halfway through making like Thanksgiving dinner. Did you put in the salt? Did you not put in the salt? How long has the pie been in? Did you set the timer? The one thing I've been able to keep from the time I was 7 is my journals, because I hid them. I would bury them. I would stuff them in walls. I put them under things that nobody looked at, which I thought was fascinating. And when I was free, I went back and collected them. So all of me writes, different handwriting, different hands. Just depends on who's who. I don't know anybody with DID who hasn't gone through something so mind-numbingly awful to even just express it. I might be able to tell you what happened, but it will be flat affect all the way, no emotion. Because if I put motion in there, I can't talk. There's so much, so much. I was sold when I was 15 months old. I didn't get out till I was 36. That'll do it. That'll do it. Because a lot of times during this human trafficking, like the first part of it is basically breaking you in. And if they get you at such a young age, They break you into a way that compartmentalizes your mind anyway, makes you exactly what they need to sell that day, that weekend, whatever it is. I have parts of me that are from always. They're innocent little pieces of my brain that know exactly what the process is of sex, which is really sad, but it's still very true. For some reason, I was blessed with an aptitude, with a higher IQ, and so I adapted really well. That's how I survived.
It was my biological mother who did it. She sold me. Her house was one of the ones that got raided. She actually didn't go to prison. She was released on a technicality. I called the National Human Trafficking Hotline. I saw it in some store, and I was able to get away long enough to make a phone call. They hooked me up to the FBI. The FBI raided the place and then took me and dropped me off at a domestic violence shelter. I had no family, no friends, no connections. There was no place for me to go to. There's no halfway house for people who don't know anything about how to be a person. You know, I knew how to be sold. I knew how to be what someone told me to be, but I didn't know how to make choices for myself. I didn't feel strong then. I do now, but I sure didn't then.
When I first moved here, I had to really hone in on my ability to rein in my terror. Every little noise just scared me. I didn't know who to talk to, who I could talk to. So I talked to everyone, because when I'm anxious, apparently I become a blabbermouth and just, hello, everybody, let's all talk together, and let's just keep talking no matter what we're saying. And it's just a bunch of nonsense, and I had to rein that in. I saw one of the guys who had purchased me. He was at the gas station here by this house, and he saw me. And he got out of his car. I was sitting in the truck, and my boyfriend was in the gas station, and he got out of his truck like he was going to come over to the one I was in. I cannot tell you the fear because I don't even know how to express it. I peed my pants. Like, I really did. And he was getting out, and he was just passing the gas pump on his truck, and Chris walked out of the gas station, and that's my boyfriend. And the guy saw him, and Chris is a big, tall guy, 6 foot, muscles. He has one of those looks of the don't F with me looks. This guy looked at him and looked at me and got back in his truck and drove away. I've never seen that happen before. People I have been with that I tried to get away have been hurt, been killed. It was the first time ever that someone was there for me, and he didn't even, no. He got back in the truck, and I tell him, and he's just like, what I'm here for. Like, to him, he was like, of course. I love you. That's what I do, you know? And to me, never happened before. Hey, I was 37. Whole 37 years. Parents didn't even do that. Nobody. And he's just like, that's what people do, and they love you. Rocked my entire world. I don't have a favorite. The way that I was able to heal was we had to create some form of communication. Now, I don't like words because words can lie. So no talking in my head for the most part. But emotion can't lie. So I picture you know the world, how there's, in the very center, it's molten magma, and it's hot, and it's fiery. Are you following me? All right. Now let's put this over here for a second. Do you remember Care Bears? When Care Bears had the little symbol on their belly, and when someone else was feeling sad, they'd do the Care Bear stare, and they'd stare all the good emotions into that one. Yeah? Okay. The very, very middle of me, middle of who I am, is that molten, hot love, the gooiness that is me, the goodness, the middle, it's me, and every single one of my altars is a part of that. But each one is a different Care Bear. So when somebody is feeling sad or angry and they need a different feeling from someone else inside, we do the Care Bear stare at each other and they receive it. And that's how my insides communicate with each other. The middle, the core, the love, that's my favorite. My greatest desire is to put this out there in a way that is not self-deprecating, because it insults the people I'm with along with myself. I am awesome right now. I mean, I'm in school. These are all really important, huge, big things. from a person who was told they were stupid their whole life. And now I matter, and I don't just matter to the people around me, I matter to me. And any other person with DID or with depression or anxiety or post-traumatic stress disorder can come to a place to find themselves where they're also got that burning magma thing in the middle. It's just love.
Bum bum